Ki khubor ka Batesi TV
ka umdi basnyambak penjaslian Rupa Premium Meghalaya.
Hagasautrik unailur arajar arpusan ke National Institute of Fashion Technology Shillong ke bahab haka Ministry of Textiles ke Pynkupburom batlasa migi sernot jigi Samla jong ke Shlem Jinghikai ke Pyndep ke Jingpule jongki. Ukongsan haka digesngi udah Menteri Sarkar wapet ke tanah textile ubah polling do. Ki Samla ke Pyndep ke Jingpule jongki ki kintop yalai pongot ke Pyndep ke Master of Fashion Management atpun yongot ke Fashion Communication apun rengut ke accessory design, lapun rengut ke fashion design, apun rengut ke textile design. Kini kita ke Pyndep ke Jingpule jongki mentau Shlem.
Good evening, friends, our esteemed guest of honor, Mrs. Ratnakar, Ms. Pooja, Dr. Nurpul Anand, Mr. Jha, our Director, Nift, Shillong, Ms. Rimi Das, Ms. Shering Bhutia, other ladies on the dais. I think those who are on the dais and off the dais represent the same gender equation, 80:20. Our Principal Secretary in the Department of Textiles and Arts and Culture, FR Kharkongor, Dr. Natalie Dingdo. More especially, my heartiest congratulations to all the graduates and their proud parents. Let's give each one of you one more round of applause. There's something unique about today's ceremony. I was in St. Anthony's College a couple of days back and had attended a similar convocation ceremony where the total number of students who got their convocation conferred was also 145 as it is today. I do not believe in numerology, but then it strikes me something unique. And the fact that you have spent your beautiful days at Nift, Shillong, I'm sure as Mr. Jha had earlier mentioned, I think this was last year when he said that this was one of the most beautiful campuses in the country. And it gives me immense pleasure to have been able to be part of the birth of Nift Shillong. In 2007, I was in the cabinet as Minister in charge of Urban Affairs. And one of the key decisions we took was to ensure that we allow the growth of prestigious institutions like NIF to come up here at New Shillong, which is why today we have Nift, we have IIM, we have a host of others, we have the Tech Park, and the fact that we took that decision then in 2007 has led to this moment when 145 of you would soon join the bigger university, the University of Life, and make utilize whatever you have learned from this holy shrine of learning. For our outstation guests, some of whom may have visited Shillong for the first time today, it is with profuse pride that on behalf of the government of Meghalaya and on my own behalf, we extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Just day before yesterday, there were friends who had visited and had converged at Guwahati. And midday, they traveled to Shillong. When we met them in the evening, they all were looking for jackets. They said we didn't expect this kind of weather in barely traveling distance of 2 hours. For those of you who might not know this, we also live in what is known across the world as the Meghalayan age, the geological age of the world. And this age started 4,200 years ago when a stalagmite was discovered at the Mlo cave, which is within Sora, Cherrapunji. And the fact that we live in the Meghalayan age, I think all of you, especially our graduate friends, will go back with a fond memory that you had pursued modern education in a state which prides itself of an ancient civilization. As I was welcomed with this shawl, I am also deeply privileged to share with you the fact that Meghalaya's own Eri silk, which we call Rindia, has this year been conferred the GI tag. Our sector is growing. The textiles sector is growing by leaps and bounds, and therefore it is befitting that we have this center, the 11th in the country here at Shillong. I had this exchange with our guest of honor, trying to find out the number of Nifts and what would be Shillong's age in terms of the various centers. She said this is the 11th in the country. It strikes me that Shillong, which also will be hosting the National Games in 2027 and will have the largest football stadium in the country by 2027. The game of football itself comprises of a team of 11. And it just goes to show that the 11th Nift in the country should remind each one of us that teamwork works. Nobody has ever succeeded in this world on his own. Students might pride themselves on their brilliance, on the investment of time and energy to your studies. But please remember that you might have an uneducated mother. You might have had an illiterate grandmother, but it was their blessings, it was their hands that shaped you to who you are today. Let's not forget that fact. A very successful musician in the world of music, Sting, was once asked, why and how and what do you attribute your success to as a highly successful solo artist? He said, I'm not a solo artist. The guy who carries my guitar is also part of my team. Therefore, I am a product of a team. As you leave the institution to be on your own, I'm sure NIF has had a role in molding and shaping you. Your faculty, your teachers have held your hand. It's very important that we distinguish between hand-holding and giving you a stretcher on which you will spend the rest of your life. Hand-holding means that someday you will be strong enough to walk on your own. But no child has ever walked, none of us has learned walking on our own without having fallen. None of us. But as one noted philosopher said, what is life? What is a river without the rocks and the pebbles around it? Had there been no rocks and no pebbles, the river would not have had a song. Therefore, I am very confident that you will emerge from here truly empowered, your eyes opened to the challenges ahead of you. And let me remind each one of us to make extra use of each of the faculties we are blessed with. All of us here have hands. Make sure that those hands also touch lives. All of us here have eyesight. Make sure that you go beyond eyesight and have a vision too. All of us here have ears. Those ears should not just hear, they should listen and listen intently. We have feet. Let us not just walk, but march towards growth, progress, and self-realization. Friends, in our various journeys in life, in all circumstances, let us remember this very important metaphor, and that is the metaphor of a hammer. There is this saying that a hammer will shape a piece of iron, but use that hammer against glass, it will tear the glass into pieces. Therefore, it is not that the hammer has to be blamed. It is you who have to ask yourself, are you a piece of iron or are you a piece of glass? I welcome you once again to those of you who are here on the journey to be part of this Convocation program, and those of you who will be leaving Shillong. Keep in mind that this is a state which, much like your department, is a celebration of color, of costumes, of culture, customs, of cuisine. I hope a lot of students here have had the opportunity to enjoy all of these C's. And as you go back home, as you join the bigger university of life, keep this in mind, to always keep your thoughts, keep your mindset, keep your thinking process positive. I would like, before I resume my seat, I would like to conclude with this reminder. Take care of your thoughts, for your thoughts will turn into your words. Take care of your words, for your words will turn into actions. Take care of your actions, for your actions will turn into your habits. Take care of your habits, for your habits will turn into your character. Take care of your character, for your character will turn into your destiny. Thank you. Pynkupburom. Jai Hind.
Hey, up, ruko. Schwaba finchet da kajo shikajo ko umpnyang balapin don kam. Up shwa, namar kaneka kta ya kakot kakya jong fi pat kamaryang rukum jo. Da ka bashet da kaneka umpnyang kan tau bonjat ki jingpang. Henry, Pyndep pat bante shanala ne bantang pendono. Henry, minta ka ruko ne ka repurpose use cooking oil scheme kala ban penkala ya kaneka umpnyang siya ka biodiesel. Tinamar kata limba ka ruko kakot kakya pat kamaryang rukan ktasyo.